Hello, I'm your humble host Zero Time, and today I would like to welcome you to the revival of the TDT yeetcast. I'm coming here today by a few of the TDT upper echelon for discussion on TDT and the type of player they are. But first things first, let me introduce my fellow panel members. We have me some 777.
What's that? Yeah, it's not gonna work. I've tried. My voice is still shot. I got into a heated conversation yesterday, let's just say, and I kind of had to raise my voice, and my voice is now gone. So hopefully it holds through.
No worries there. We have Funky Thumbs.
What's going on, guys? And the K does not stand for cactus.
Ooh. We have Sprinkle Shy.
Hello, my name is Wrinkles.
And last but not least, Bob the Hot Dog.
Hello, what's cracking, gamers? It's your boy Bob the Hot Dog, aka BTHD. The same intro I do for every time I ever have to do an intro
I
ever.
was just remarking. I was just thinking about how Sprinkles announces her name like a Pokemon. You know?
I do it very I don't mentally. I'm just like, okay, let's do this. Hello, and if you put your finger on your temple when you do it, so it's cuter. I don't know.
Someone's been watching too many Korean dramas.
Sounds like it.
No.
Boy.
Animes, but close.
Same thing, really.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's basically the same thing. Well, this conversation's going right along the track just as we expected it to.
Absolutely. This is TDT at its
This
finest.
is peak TDT performance.
Tis be the
Awesome.
bean.
Cool.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
So today we're going to be going through just some of the background of our members here. Get to know some of the guys, especially with a bunch of new people here. So we'll go right into it. So start with the boss man himself, Misum. So when did you start TDT?
About a month ago, I sat down and I said, "Hey, you know what? No, I'm kidding. Shoot, dude, has it been 6 years? I think it's been 6 years that we've been doing this thing. Like TDT, the idea of TDT at least has been around since Destiny 1. I remember it was Dark Below that it started out. I was with my friend who's no longer in the clan, who was one of the founders, J-Food. And we were I've been in Destiny. We found out that we had a common interest in Destiny. And basically, it ended up devolving into us just trying to get really, really, really freaking good at PvP. And we came across this dude in a random LFG for a PvE activity named Electro.
Oh, of course it was PvE.
Yeah, and here's the funny thing. It was a friend of a friend situation. Another person who's no longer with us, Solid Ramages. It was his friend sort of deal. It was like he recommended him, right? Just like there was just like this random LFG sort of thing. It was weird.
Yeah.
It was weird how it worked out. I don't even remember all the specifics, but I know it was like Solid knew him, but we randomly like somehow got into the same lobby with him or something like that. Anyway, and from there we discovered that we were pretty good. We were pretty good at the game. Sorry, my voice is so dead today.
Just a chance
I actually
encounter.
took time off work. I took time off work just to make sure I wasn't on my voice for the rest of the day doing calls so I could actually do this. Anyway, so yeah, we found out that we're actually... Thank you. We found out that we're actually pretty good. All of us were like top 1%. And pretty much the foundations of TDT were founded right there. Like what you know of as the code of conduct was more or less established then. I don't know how long you want me to go because I could quite literally give you a My Name is Bife style 2-hour-long lore session if you're interested. I don't know if my voice could keep up with that, but I could definitely do
Well,
that.
it's okay. We can always just post the link to the Guardian down where you actually did do it. So
I've
No, that was.
I've
Go ahead, Bob.
I've wanted to ask you this for a while, but I just figured I'd bring it up real quick right now as a suggestion. You should convince Stellar to do a command for TDT bot where TDT $lore, and then the bot will post a random lore entry from TDT.
That's a great
That
idea.
is awesome.
You could add Nissan and Bobbert Gate too. Just saying.
That's actually a really solid idea.
I just thought of it because of that.
well, you heard it here first.
That's
Yeah,
pretty awesome.
I'm gonna put a note in there. I'm gonna mute you guys. Somebody else take over. I'm gonna make a note.
Yep, we'll move right along. So, Funky, when did you join TDT?
Oh man, June of 2019. What was it? I was hardcore, like Destiny grinder, like just that was what I did in my free time, like, and I, for the longest time, was just PvE kind of guy. Like I had a bunch of friends who wanted to just raid constantly, and that's pretty much what I did. And I had a very love-hate relationship with the Crucible.
That's understandable.
Obviously I didn't have a whole lot of friends who were very good at Crucible, so I tried to solo grind the very first season that Not Forgotten in Luna's Howl was available, and I missed the mark by like 150, 200 points of getting Luna's before the season ended and everything reset. And the following season I jumped back in, and it was just oppressive. Like, it was like, if you didn't have either of those two guns, you just had no business going into the Crucible, or at least that's how I felt. So I took a pretty decent hiatus from ever touching the Crucible, and one day I sat down and I was like, fuck it, I want to get better. Like, this is a game that I really enjoy. I enjoy being good at things, so I want to figure out how to get better. Started looking up YouTube videos, came across this tiny little channel with less than 800 subscribers, but the videos were cool, and they were team focused, which is always something I've been a big fan of.
Yeah.
And I subscribed, hit the bell, did all the things that most YouTubers tell you to do, saw that there was a Discord, I joined it, and then just like went full blown in the server, like, hey, this is me, I'm gonna be here for a long time, everybody get used to it.
Very good.
So, can I give everybody a bit of a inside scoop?
Of course.
It's only going to be the members and the patrons that get to hear this, so they get to either keep this for themselves, or they get to sheepishly or cheekily hold on to this information. When Archibald and Reginald return, when the dev letters return, we're going to do the most ambitious crossover ever. We're going to take Wolfpack and we're going to make Archibald and Reginald explain it.
Oh.
Ooh.
That's pretty sick.
Tell me that doesn't sound like the coolest fucking idea.
Sounds like a good argument.
I like it.
I'm down with that.
Right? Like, because that's people have been wanting the Wolfpack stuff back, and that's what Funky, I think, probably what Funky found was the Wolfpack stuff.
Oh yeah.
People have been wanting it back forever, but I haven't found a way to make it stick in the algorithm.
It's gonna be like a better version of that the video that Cranky did, where it was a SpongeBob parody.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, the one we did. Yeah. That was a fun one. I think that's still up somewhere.
It's an OG video. People might not remember.
Yeah, that's
Nope,
old.
not a clue.
Yeah. So there you go. There's your inside scoop. Do with that information what you will.
Exclusive.
Peoples at home. Exclusive. Yes.
All right. Let's move on down the list. So, Sprinkles. How long have you been in TDT? What brought you here?
Oh God. Let me think.
I
Around.
brought her here.
Hey, it's my story. Around December-ish of 2020, and my story was a little different. I was this little girl that would play Destiny, and all I would do is raid. And then one day, I was in a Discord, and I met some TDT members that I didn't know were TDT members. And then I hung out with the Funky Thumbs, and he's like, "Hey, join this Discord." And I'm like, "Yeah, why not?" And then now I'm here, and it's pretty much it, really.
That's all there was to it. There was that.
Yeah.
She just
Pretty much
showed
it.
up one day. She just kind of just appeared. Nothing else happened in between, and that's when she was a member. That's exactly how it
Yep.
is.
It's
Just short,
magic,
sweet.
man. It's just, yeah. I could go on
Yep.
forever, trust me, but I don't think you want to hear
It's like the Pokemon. The wild Sprinkles appears.
Honestly.
And then she does whatever with her
Basically.
finger that she said makes her look cute. or whatever.
No.
Finger to the temple with a wink and like throw one foot off to the side kind of thing.
Throw a little uwu in there.
Actually,
Yep.
Eats a slice
No.
of bread.
And
Says
bam, she
beans.
was immediately purple.
yeah.
That's all it
No.
took. That's all it took for her to
No,
get
there was
Nothing else.
Done.
there was a lot of hard work put into it, blood, sweat, and tears, because I was terrible at PvP. But hard work does pay off, and I made it.
Absolutely. And then
Single
last but not
tear shed.
least, the King of Franks, Bob. How long?
What's up? What's the question again? How long have I been in TDT? Right, is that's the word? Like, okay,
Yes.
so
And what brought you here?
There with him. He didn't get
Okay.
memory.
Word. Okay, so I've been in TDT since I literally just looked it up earlier because of a conversation I was having. But December 4th of 2020 was when I joined. I've always been really interested in Destiny, and especially the PvP side, because I was like, one day I was like, I played this game so much. Why am I sucking at it? So I've always been interested in finding out how to get better, and in my several year journey of doing so, I found the TDT YouTube channel where they had Wolfpack stuff in it, and at that time I had already discovered this on my own, but I hadn't realized how to explain it to other people. And when I found TDT, I was like, dang, they've already got this all compiled. I need some of this. I need to get in here. So I joined then, and I've been trying to be an active member of TDT ever since then. I joined the Discord, and I've been trying to get involved with it because I do really like the environment that we have here.
You're definitely
So,
well
I would say,
embedded in
yeah.
the community here.
Yeah, it's been about like a year and 2 months approximately. So
I just checked, and apparently I joined in August of 2020.
Yeah.
yes.
And I have no idea. Like, it feels like I've been here a lot longer than that.
It honestly
Yeah.
does. Yeah.
It feels like I've been here my whole life.
Well, that is the goal. That's the goal of the TDT vibe.
Well, I guess
Word.
we can talk about myself as well. So I joined back in 2020 as well. Pretty much I had not played Destiny until I saw the Beyond Light trailer, and I'm like, oh, that looks freaking awesome. So I got back into it. Was looking up how to find certain catalysts for guns I was working on, and came across the TDT catalyst videos on potential catalysts for weapons that had not come out yet. And then immediately under that first video I watched, it showed the "Are you a beta?" video when he was called Cammy a beta, and
L cope ratio.
I was like, wait a
I need to
second,
do that again.
I'm totally a
Send
beta.
this me some DM this podcast link to Cammy.
And I started following the tactics. Subscribed to the channel. Was joined the Discord. I was actually a supporter of the YouTube channel silently, and then some yelled at me. It's like, you said you were supporting this whole time, and you didn't tell me to make a community. I'm like, well, I wasn't doing it to be a community. I was just doing it because I like what you guys do.
I remember that.
And I've been here ever since.
Yeah, he's one of the few that got in via what you guys, the people who are listening this to, through like a Patreon upgrade or a membership through. Back in the day, we used to do memberships through YouTube that actually could get you up, and I think that's where you started as well, right? And
Yes,
he's
it's
one of the
through
few
YouTube.
that, yeah, like it's always an interesting point for us, like that we promote. It's something for me at least, because I don't want it to feel like community is something that you can just purchase in that regard, right? Like you can, but I still wanted to make sure that it's something that is still meaningful, right? And you can still earn it, right? But it's a good way to kind of put the spotlight on you if you're really actually like there to kick some ass, right? But I don't know. It's just something that came up because like he'd been supporting for so long, and I've been really appreciative, and I didn't know he was in the Discord.
But yeah, and then I started getting some games with you guys. I was pretty much bumped up because I'm really good at the tactical knowledge.
White
Word.
I'm definitely, when playing, very vocal on call-outs and everything, so I kind of rose through the ranks that way.
Yep.
Anyway.
Helps to be a good communicator.
I did it because they liked me.
It's true. He charmed us with
Absolutely.
his funky thumbs.
That's right.
Everybody likes
In fact,
Funky.
if I was actually decent at the game, I probably could have shaved a month or two off of me making member.
Honestly, you probably are right. Like,
Oh, I know.
unironically,
I know. Like,
if you were like if you could kick ass like Bob kicked some serious ass,
Yes,
What?
he does.
and you had that, like, because Funky has this style of like maturity, right, that just cuts through everything, but he's chill about it. You know what I mean? So
He's
yeah, no,
funky.
you're probably right.
yeah, no. Like, I'll be the first to admit, like, I was legitimate, like, hot trash when I came in.
Kind of point you that direction.
Oh no,
you gotta
like,
talk
I'm
yourself up. You gotta make yourself look good for the people at home.
well, no. So it's more like, letting people know, like, I was hot garbage, 0.5 KD player when I first joined it, and so that way, if they play me now, they'll see the progress that I made.
Oh, good point.
So
I mean, I'm
it's-
not gonna lie. If you went from 0.5 to where you are now in a year and a half, that's faster improvement than I've ever seen.
like,
So
but yeah, no, like, so yeah, like, yes, I am calling myself hot garbage when I first joined, but the end result is to further feed my ego. So that's all it really is.
Perfect.
Well, I guess we can kind
Nice.
of use that to segue into one
you
of
know,
our talking
Destiny
points.
players and their egos.
Right.
So one of our talking points was how TDT had an impact on you as a player. We kind of gone over that a little bit already. Let's go back to Meesum. So before you were part of TDT and you started establishing like the Wolfpack and all that stuff, how have you elevated your game from there?
Sure. I was a Call of Duty kid. I was very good at Call of Duty. I was one of those kids that would watch Allier back when he was still cool to watch. And I was like, always top fragged, right? So I've never been like the absolute best. I'm not trying to say that, but I'm saying like I've always been very good at video games. It's like a natural talent. I can pick up basically anything and start frustrating people. Just ask Scapegoat. But
Oh boy.
one of the things I've always lacked, and one of the things that's been my biggest frustration point, is a team. And my dad has this okay amount of military background. If you look into the Wolfpack tactics and peel away the veneer flavor that we've added to it, there's a lot of like actual like U.S. military tactics that are baked into that.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. So what I did is I basically said, look, what we're gonna need to do if we are gonna do a clan thing, right? I want everybody to be able to speak the same lingo, and at the communication level be able to be keeping up with one another, right? Because the biggest problem above everything else is not necessarily your inability to shoot the gun. It'd be nice if you could, but it's your inability to properly give information and position yourself in such a way that you're a threat. Just being on the map is you being a threat. So I sat down with a pen and paper and way too much free time, and I sketched out all the Wolfpack stuff. And then I started preaching it and refining it and preaching it and refining it. And it took about 4 years of really sticking on people about it. Like really like, like this is what you got to do. It's probably closer to 3 years, but anyway, I digress. And finally, it started to really like catch ground, and that's about the time the YouTube came out. And the difference between solo play as a good player and playing with the team as an average player is just immense. And it's ever since then I've gotten spoiled because I've gotten so used to having good teammates around, especially when I'm doing anything more competitive, like going into trials without a Wolfpack, just solo, like with solo trials coming out, is it is a night and day difference, right? Even if the players are
Absolutely.
technically better, right, than the other players who pick up, like you will generally perform worse, right? So it's just been evidence upon evidence upon evidence of the efficacy of teamwork, communication, and respect. Building enough of a relationship with somebody that you can say, don't go down that doorway, you will die, and having that person go, you know what? I trust and respect you. I'm not going to go down that doorway.
Absolutely, yes.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So, yeah. Anyway, I think I shotgun most of that, most of the question you were asking.
No, that's perfect. I mean, some of these questions are a little bit different for you as one of the founders, so that was perfect. So I'm kind of touched on it already, a little bit funky, but
so like what brought me in was twofold, really. One, the group of people that I was playing doing like raids and PvE stuff was like it was the same group that I had been playing with since like Rise of Iron when I first started. Mm-hmm. And like they were, doing life stuff like that kind of happens. And like because I was, one of the older ones there, like that kind of stuff had already happened, so like this was my after work free time. So I wanted to find a group of people to play with, and I also wanted to get better at, shooting real people in the face in the game. Not like just real people, but like in the game. And
not just real people, but also in the game. Gotcha.
Right, yes. Yes. So don't worry, I'm not going back to Illinois. No one has to worry. Anyway, so when I stumbled across the YouTube channel, I probably spent a week just binging all of their different videos about the Wolfpack, trying to figure out what I would want to do, points I wanted to do, like when I nerd out on something, like I want to know like the absolute smallest nuts and bolts that make it what it is. And then I joined, like low end expectation. Hopefully I just find some like cool people to play with, get a little bit better, but like high end explanation, like I'm diving in head first. It's like I want to see how good of a player I can actually become. And the way I've always gotten better at something is throw myself against someone who is unfathomably better than me and let them beat my ass until like eventually they beat it less and then less and then less, and then I go find somebody else. And kind of a perfect storm here. Yeah.
No, I definitely hear you. Same thing. As soon as I discovered those tactics, I sat there and I went through every single last one of them, and then I watched them again, just checking over, like, let's see, where do I fall in this category?
Yep. Yeah, no, I knew I was a gamma from the get-go.
I had a lot of trouble figuring out which one I was at first, and then I realized that's because I'm a beta, which is you kind of do a lot of it. And also because I've swapped. I've played at some point in my Destiny life cycle, I've played every single Wolfpack role.
Yeah.
Like not just like just done it before, but like for several months at a time. That was my play style. So it was very hard for me to realize that I'm not searching for a hard answer. I was searching for what I was doing at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody else do the thing where when they start a new shooter game, they start in like the Omega position and then eventually ease themselves into like a more frontline position? Because like every game I start that's new, I always start in the Omega position, which is weird for me, right? Because I generally play so aggressive, and then like as I get more comfortable with it, I start to ease more into that aggro alpha style of play.
Oh yeah.
I always started with sniper. Like in every game, even in like platformer shooters I would play on the computer, like Raze and Strike Force Heroes, I always started with sniper because I just thought that was the coolest. And then slowly in Destiny, I learned how to be aggressive as a sniper. But like in D1, I was hard Omega, and then I slowly learned how to be a beta sniper because Omega wasn't the most viable option in terms of how to carry a team.
Yeah.
So it's a lot harder to carry a team with. It's possible, but
yeah
it's a lot harder.
I'm not really a sniper. I usually go into like the more DMR type of weapon.
Yeah.
Like in Call of Duty, I always use stuff like the Garand or the M14 or stuff. The FAL. Like I always use like the single shot DMR rifles.
Yeah.
But Destiny, once the bow came out, it was a done deal.
I thought bows were bad for so long, dude. I held this so firmly. I had this ongoing argument with my friend who was just super into them. He was really bad at the game, so it didn't help. Like he'll tell you he's like the worst person at the video game. But he's like, man, I love bows. They're so much fun. They're so good. I'm like, man, they're trash. You're trash. With love, you're trash. You're not very good at this, right? And then I really didn't sit down with them. But man, bows are so good when you get them in the right situation. But anyway, so
I
Point
thought
of the
those
Stag
were-
carried me to member.
I thought bows were bad, but that's because I exclusively played Titan for the entire duration of me thinking that.
you get a swashbuckler
See,
fighting wins, and then
this was
I do have one. Of those.
I changed from Titan main to Warlock main in Shadowkeep. So
that's a while ago.
yes, I have technically been a Warlock main for a long while at this point. At heart, though, I'm still a Titan main. I have literally a hand engraved dog tag with a Titan insignia on my neck right now.
It's pretty cool, not gonna lie.
It's like I think I mean Titan in Destiny 1 until the Stormcaller came out. And then I was using that. But D2, I started off as a hunter. And then I transitioned back to Stormcaller once Landfall actually got good.
I think I've always been a Warlock main. I've always been a Blink guy. Like as soon as I saw Blink, I played only the Blink classes. I played Blade Dancer. I played Voidwalker. I loved Blink. I thought that was the coolest shit ever.
I think Sprinkles is the only person. Oh, my bad.
No,
I
go
think
ahead.
I am the only person. No, I referred to myself in the third person. I was like, wait. I think
It's
I'm the
what you
only
always
It
person
do.
fits. Yeah, it fits. It's fun.
I think I'm the only person that has stayed Hunter since D1. I've tried other classes a bunch. I just can't mentally deal with their jumps. So I've just been Hunter.
Makes sense.
Yeah, no, I can't do it. I'll play all the different subclasses. I like them all pretty equally. But I prefer Tether, even though it's not the best. But it's alright.
Same.
But yeah.
That's what I do on my hunter. I'm usually top tree tether.
Hey, Top Tree Tether's popular. It's not because of the super, that's for sure, but
No, not at all.
One of my good friends, hardcore does what is it? Night Stalker. She's really good. Actually, Zero, you guys got to talk to each other about something because she's perhaps the best bow shotgun player I've ever encountered. She plays on controller, and she plays tether, and she's insane. Her name is Sir Ido. I'll hook you guys up sometime.
Sounds good. Well, I guess the last one, I guess Sprinkles, you didn't talk about the impact that you've had since you've been here. on your
God,
game.
like just me playing wise?
Yes.
God, where do I start? That's the real question. I mean, when I joined, I couldn't kill anything, relatively. It was really bad. But I feel like the teamwork and like everyone being so supportive and not really mean or rude was really helpful, and everyone's just willing to teach you just made such a difference to me. And Wolfpack, I don't know if it's just me or other people, but it made playing more easier to learn because it made me focus on certain aspects that I didn't think of, and I just think it helped me a lot personally,
Yeah.
and my skills have improved immensely. I would hope so.
No, absolutely.
I would agree. Same for myself. When I came back, I was sitting at like a 0.6 for season of rivals for my KD.
Jeez. Oh, crap.
Started getting into the tactics because my friend group that I initially played with was very flaky, and I was on the top of my friend group. So once I got with some people that were better than me and started pointing out my flaws, especially since I like at that time I really liked shooting out in the open and just standing there and not moving.
Yeah, me too.
So
Yeah,
tempting.
cover was not an option for me.
And especially running.
Covers for
like-
people who lose gunfights.
There you go. And just have an actual, because when it comes to games like this, I'm very team oriented, and if I have a good team, I will explode in my efficiency. Especially if I know I can rely on them to get certain things done, like can with most of the people here in TDT. So that definitely elevated my game of my awareness. And then just the Wolfpacks in general, like being able to recognize when somebody else on the other team, it's like, oh, this person, they're definitely an alpha the way they're pushing in, disrupting the group. So I know how to shut that down. And like, oh, this person, I only ever see them peeking out from around the corner. They must be in Omega because all I see is that red light, and I never see them up close. So it's definitely helped me recognize who I'm up against to be able to properly counter them.
Word.
I definitely think that like once you learn the different roles and like how people play, it makes such a difference because
Yeah.
you're like, what is this person gonna do? But then you kind of understand what they're using and how they
Yeah.
play, and it can like turn the tide of the whole game once
then-
everyone
Yeah.
works together.
But then you'll 1v
Yeah.
people like Bob, and then you just got to do your best because nothing
What?
works.
Being
Well,
able to
it's-
sit
it-
down.
I'm not
Oh.
salty about the
Go
1v1s,
ahead.
Bob. Not at all.
What?
It
What?
hurt me.
I thought they were really good. I don't know. Anyway.
I never got to double digits.
Oh, really? Oh, must not have been paying attention then. I thought you
I mean,
did good.
I'm kidding.
I still lost, but I don't think the score was that big a difference between me and Bob.
I have been
Ooh.
trying, kind of going
Rivalry.
like, I have been going kind of ham with trying to figure out how to improve at this game because I keep getting my ass handed to me when I don't want to lose. So like, I've been doing like hardcore aim trainers and I don't know, like within the
You
past
doing
like
the
month
sweaty
or so.
stuff.
I'm just
Yeah.
joking, Bob. I mean,
You
he's-
Kovacs crutch.
I was
For real.
I was just playing with different loadouts, having fun. So
Yeah, no. I mean, they were kind of working too. Like that. Whoa, your freaking Le Monarch thing you did on me on game one, like, dude. I don't want to talk about it.
yeah, that
Actually, I take it back.
Triggering us to
Let's
PTSD.
not discuss that.
Anyway,
Yeah.
what I was gonna throw out
I've
here is
yet to fight Bob.
that was my main build. That's why. That's
Oh, I
that was
see.
the game that
Because-
you won by like 3 points. But other than that,
Ooh, okay. Sprinkles, if you want to one, if you want, we can do it right now while we're talking.
probably
Oh,
better
I'm
to
just
stay
kidding.
focused on the
Maybe-
podcast.
After the
I'm just kidding. I'm
podcast.
just kidding.
What I
I'm
was
just
going to
kidding. Yeah,
say-
sure.
what I
I'm
was
just
going
happy
to
I got a
say.
handful of snipes on you.
Word.
Being able to rattle off somebody's game plan before they even enter the match is so helpful, right? Because you can look at somebody and say, "Here's what you're gonna do," and they're like, "What? Maybe." Right?
Mhm.
Like, oh yeah, we know what we know what you're gonna do. We can just tell just by looking at you what your game plan is. Just
Word.
that alone, even ignoring like the friendly team stuff, helps a lot. It really
Yeah.
does, because like I can load into a trials match and I can go alpha, gamma. Okay, they're
Yeah,
probably going to
absolutely.
take up the space
It is
immediately,
very
and then they're
true.
going to hold that space. That's going to be the game plan.
Yeah,
Okay, let's
that's-
just battle.
that's- That's something I noticed the first time like we really played together. I'm pretty sure we played comp, and it was like so weird because I played a lot of comp with the PC people, but when I was playing with you, it was like you were like deciding what we were gonna do on the map before we touched down, and I'm like, okay. Like I usually almost always take round one to figure out what's going on, you know, and then you were like, okay, this is our game plan. And we're like literally still flying over the planet, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, you get round
Like-
one for free.
Yeah, no, like, yeah, the thing that's the best thing about it is like it's when you put a system to something that's as nebulous as a PvP game, it's all it is doing is it's compartmentalizing information, and it's allowing your mental processes to kind of free up. So
word.
like, having that stuff memorized and just being able to be like, quickly pull up the enemy teams, like, okay, that's the roles are going to do, your brain's automatically correlating that to like those roles are going to do this, and this is the map, and then all of a sudden, all you have to think about is the plan to counter that.
The execution. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I always describe it this way whenever I'm just trying to explain Wolfpack to somebody, which I haven't had to do in a while. But it is not in itself a strategy. It is a language to communicate strategy, right? We aren't necessarily making up anything new here. We are taking what we see, putting labels on it so that we can, like Funky said, compartmentalize it, right? We can say, this is the box they're generally going to stay in until they change game plans. I know how to deal with that, right? Like I've already played that enough. I know what I can do to position myself in such a way to deal with that, right? Like I know how they're going to react. I know how I'm generally going to be able to get advantage, right? Because like I said, like you cannot escape the fact that you are going to play either an alpha, a beta, a gamma, or an omega. I have yet to see anybody propose anything that doesn't fall into one of those 4 categories.
Absolutely.
Right? So,
and it's what you usually describe it as its headspace.
Free up your headspace.
You're going in there, you know the plan, you got the terms, you can focus on fighting, and just one word, like you can be doing your turn and burn, you know immediately you're going to go to one direction and kill this guy because they're either by themselves or you got to pick, and you can just jump on the team without even thinking about it. It's just like, oh, I know what I'm doing, go.
Yep.
Yeah, it puts you in a proactive stance instead of a reactive stance, and that's just always going to be in your benefit.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I definitely feel like if there wasn't Wolfpack, I feel like going into a game, there'd be no communication. Mentally, that's how I see it. It's like without some of the things that we go over and like talk about, I feel like if we just go into the game, it doesn't really make sense, and it's harder to communicate what other people are doing. I don't know.
Well, typically in those situations, there's communication, but there's misunderstanding when the terminology is different. You don't. Somebody maybe say one thing, and you're like, "What are you talking about? What is this thing?"
It's so disheartening to me when I'm in a clutch moment in survival and I'm doing like a carry or something, or playing with even like a new person that might help me do carries, and like I call out like what is it, bait and pull now, and I like blink all the way through, and I'm like, fuck, they don't know what that is. And then just get like annihilated.
I don't play outside of like people who are familiar with TDT much, but occasionally I'll have one of those situations where, again, it's like a friend of a friend situation. So it's like, okay, I'll play with these guys, and I get in there and like I'll have this situation like mentally all mapped out and ready to go. Like I'm ready to handle this, and I know my team is generally capable of handling this. And I see that blip on the radar. I go turn and burn left, and they go,
yeah.
What? Let's just pause. Like, you know, like there's just pause.
You're on fire?
And it takes you that moment. It takes you that moment to like realize they have no clue what I just said. Like I just communicated perfectly to them, and it was a completely different language.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even just saying like this simple as like Reaper, everyone's like,
yeah.
Who?
Yeah.
What is that? What does that mean?
Reaper
and then I
and
just
Hunter Killer.
scream. Yeah,
Like,
and then you just scream super, and then they're like, oh.
or things like aggro swap. Like I'm sitting there and my teammates are taking a fight, and I'm yelling aggro swap at them while I'm like trying to jump in front of their bullets as fast as I possibly can, and they sit there and just like get annihilated instead of just
like
moving
Scarface.
behind cover. Like it's just they're just standing there taking the full front. I'm like, just sit. I'm coming. Like, what do I do to tell you?
I remember it clear as day. I was playing with, again, I don't remember the dude's name. It was a friend of a friend situation, but I told them like I'm actually pretty good at the game, and they believed me, which is rare. Most of the time they're like, no, you're trash. Fight me right now. It's like, oh boy, here we go. Right? I just had a thought. We give games like Pokemon a lot of crap for like random people coming up to you and trying to fight you with Pokemon, but that's literally like the gamer mentality in a nutshell. Like a PvP mentality is in a nutshell. You're bad. No, prove it. Fight me.
1v1.
Right now. Give me that Pikachu. I'm gonna throw out my freaking Oshawott. Wait a minute. Anyway,
our eyes met. It is time to fight.
It is time to fight. Anyway, what I was gonna say, I remember it clear as day. I told some dude to cycle, and I watched him because I was waiting for him to pull back. Right, I was waiting for him to cycle so I could pull out, And he started doing circles with his feet. He started like
Serpentine.
I mean, good on him because like he was standing in place and kind of like bobbing in and out of cover,
Yeah,
which was good. But
That's
not what I
funny.
wanted.
that's actually genuinely humorous, dog.
That's
I have it
awesome.
recorded somewhere. I think it's back in the PlayStation 4 though. All right.
Alrighty. Well, let's move right along. We've kind of been on this point for quite a while.
Rude.
So, TDT, one channel, many faces. Misum, how do you feel about that?
No other way to set that up. No other way to set up the delivery of that question. All right. I'm gonna give you crap for that one. But anyway,
It's being vague and nebulous.
yes,
Mhm.
nice and open ended.
How are we doing as one channel of many faces?
Why are we still here? Just to suffer.
Who are you?
Anyway, yeah, one channel many faces actually developed accidentally. It wasn't originally our motto. Our motto was it was much more badass. It was the challenge ahead of me is never as strong as the team behind me. But that doesn't sell as well on YouTube. YouTube, like, you know, any kind of marketing thing, you want something a little more snappier. And it doesn't really talk a whole lot about like what the channel is about. And one of the things that made TDT different, because from the get-go, as me being the planning type, which it's been a lot of fun playing Don't Starve with Electro because it requires a lot of planning. And anyway, yeah, I'm getting off subject. I went in with the mindset that this is where we are going to be. Like, where we're at right now has pretty much always been the goal. And I've had it pretty much laid out as how we're going to get there more or less since day one. Day one, I sat down and I said, there is a missing spot for a YouTube channel for Destiny that uploads semi-regularly with higher end quality stuff that puts an emphasis on the entertainment value as well as the information, right? Like, you see a lot of Destiny channels that put like a really high emphasis on the information and let the entertainment kind of happen naturally, which is fine. There's nothing wrong. Like, the way other people set up, there's nothing wrong with it, right? But there's like, just like you would go to a McDonald's, a Burger King, or Carl's Jr., you go to those three different restaurants despite them being burger places for very different reasons, right?
Yes.
They each have their own niche despite them being the same thing. So I looked at the scope of Destiny content creators and I said, there is no channel that does that. And there is no channel that is built around the idea of a team effort of multiple people contributing to the thing. And I think that would be a really cool thing to develop, sort of like this almost like esports feeling to it, right? And that's kind of partially the goal, is to develop this kind of like esports, like competitive feeling to it, where like you root for like a specific person within the group, right? You've got like the Dallas Cowboys or whatever, right? But then you have like a specific player that you really, really get behind, right? Like, that's your thing.
Yeah.
So it kind of developed that way. The one channel many faces, it kind of developed that way because that was such a perfect way to describe TDT.
Yeah.
So anyway, short question, long answer.
No, it's just yeah.
There was
you
like,
said.
wait, that's not the question I meant to ask you. I should have been more specific.
No, it's just it's just like he said. It used to be the challenge before me. It's not strong team behind me, and then we transitioned to the one channel many faces. But not many people know that.
Yep. Like, I think it used to be on our actual Destiny clan, like the actual clan description still had it. I don't think it's there anymore. I don't know.
It
know.
was as of a few months ago.
Yeah, I have to go back and check, but it still might be there.
I think it's still there.
Because like
I
when
will-
I run my trainings and set up private matches, that's what it says.
Ah,
I will say, for me personally, the whole reason why I was like kind of excited about becoming a purple member, it's kind of weird to say member because we use it in different ways, but like an actual member of the dream team, was because of the fact that it was a team. You know, it was like this collection of people that like were it felt like a team. Like, it felt like when you're watching a movie and they're putting together the perfect heist, and you got all these different personalities that are uniquely them and have their own strengths, and they all work together, and they all got each other's back. just that feeling of belonging as well as individuality was so attractive to me that I was like, that's a really cool concept, and I want to earn the right to be a part of that. You know.
Yep.
I completely agree with you because when I joined, it felt like I can finally make a difference to how people see. Okay, I'm gonna go about girl gamers. Sorry, y'all. About girls playing video games, and I worked my butt off for this, and it's nice to see all the different people and personalities and just what Bob said really, and it is just such a nice place to be. I feel like.
Yes, there's definitely a lot of different personalities within our community here. Even in the uppers, there's so many distinct people between Stellar, who is like a supercomputer, and then for,
And then we have a bot.
and then,
We have the code that runs on that supercomputer.
and,
Yeah.
and then Electro is just like the
Poorly
the virus that
normal.
always has to be fixed. And
But I don't know. To me, there's nothing more boring than a team where you can't differentiate between the members of that team.
Yep.
You know,
That's part of what we look for when we're getting members is we want somebody like if you are what you consider if you're an average person, right? We probably don't want you, right?
L.
Because
Sorry,
if
Bob.
you're like the average guy, it means that you really don't understand what makes you special, right?
I'm
You have
6'2".
Yeah, I'm 6'3", so suck it. Suck it by 1 extra inch. But
Your mom.
if you understand like what makes you unique and different, it allows you to play into that and understand like where you are as a person. Because no one's an average person. There's no such thing as the average person, right?
That's true.
Everyone's a special snowflake. It really is. Like
Yeah,
everybody
absolutely.
has their own unique experiences, their own unique skills, their own unique God-given talents, right? Like everything is going to be different. So, which is why Funky got through the ranks so fast because he's so different, right? He understands what makes him special, and he just runs with it, right?
I think understand might be a strong word. I just I just show up and like do things.
Like a warlock's pact, right? You're at least familiar enough with it to be able to make it work, even though you don't quite understand what's happening in the background with your sugar daddy.
Yeah, pretty much.
There you go.
Yeah. But like knowing what makes you unique and absolutely sticking with it at all costs and leaning into that is what gives you that sense of identity, you know, that is attractive for us, I would say.
Yeah.
You know, that's what when you see somebody who's like that, you're like, damn, I'm not like that, but I wish I was
Yeah,
a
absolutely.
person
Which is why-
like that.
Person doesn't see what makes her so special.
Beans.
I think it's the
Uh,
third person.
I was going to point out real quick. That's part of the reason why, specifically for myself, from like a philosophical level, I don't like the idea of playing the meta, right? Because playing the meta
True.
by its very nature is you trying to blend in and be, you know, the best of everybody else. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing wrong with it. Like, I don't hold it against anybody, right? But it's the entire mindset behind it is I'm going to scrub away all the stuff that I would rather do or the way that I like to play in order to play the game exclusively for the idea of winning. And sure, winning is fun, right? But that's part of the reason why I have difficulty with that mindset so much. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
Yeah. I mean, you know, for me, like the whole thing that fundamental like character draw that brought me, you know, to want to shoot for, you know, member and get purple as fast as I could was like I saw a group of people that, you know, like, yeah, it's a video game, you know, like we have this stuff that we do and we work on the YouTube channels, but like they become more than just like, you know, that team. Like they're like, you know, brothers and people you can talk to and like that kind of family stuff.
Absolutely.
And you know, at the end of the day, you know, like I'm stoked to be here because, you know, there are people that I would want to drink with and not drink to cope.
Yep.
So
I agree.
I've said
You
this.
know,
Sure
and-
about that?
I've said this a bunch of times, but I
So
would
far.
be willing to get into a bar fight with anybody in TDT. Right? Like
Yeah.
if they're in a situation where some dude's like, man, F you, and they stand up and the chair goes flying back, I'm like, ah, fuck. All right. Come on, Electro.
Throw
Square up.
hands.
Let's do this.
I don't know. Electro might be the only one that I would wait until he got hit first, and then I would go.
mean.
And then I put my phone away and stop recording.
Yep.
Yes.
Electro would be.
Set
I'll
the
say
tone.
this. Electro would be the first person, like without hesitation. Electro and I definitely have the strongest bond because we've known each other for the longest, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Electro and I ooh, man, I'd kick someone's ass as hard as I possibly could if somebody threatened my boy.
Yeah.
But yeah, exactly.
I
That
keep
camaraderie.
thinking of Electro as if it's like your dog. I'm sorry.
That's mean. He's like
Poor
human
Electro.
being at the end of the day. We give him a hard time, but he's a really good guy. He really
He's
a really good guy.
I wish
Well,
I
that's
knew
why I give him
Electro
a hard
IRL.
time.
I wish I knew Electro IRL because it's his online personality is very well put together, or either that or he's actually like that, and it's hard for me to believe that. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, it's hard for me to believe that he's actually like that.
From all of my time spending with Electro, I think that's legitimately just him.
Yeah.
It depends on what mood you catch him in, but yeah, most of the time, and that's part of the reason I love Electro so much is that he doesn't take life too seriously, right? Like he's
True.
willing to just live and let live.
That is
He's
very
much a
respectable
peacemaker. He's a very much a peacemaker kind of person. He's, by the way,
I hardcore respect.
there's a
that.
reason why we have Electro, myself, and Stellar. We differ a lot, and that's why we are all admins. We have specifically picked people who don't agree on necessarily how everything gets done, because if you have everybody who agrees how everybody's agreeing how something should be done, you've got an echo chamber.
Yeah.
Right?
Word.
Stellar and I, about particular topics, do not see eye to eye, right? Electro and myself and Stellar, he's a lot softer. He generally, whenever you get mercy, if somebody gets mercy, probably Electro. Me and Stellar, we're brutal. We're like, send him out, send him to the brig, right?
Interesting.
Electro very much brings mercy more than the other two of us.
I definitely
Right?
noticed
So
that.
it's that intentional blend of getting people who don't necessarily agree on everything, because then we should be able to come up with a compromise that better suits all parties involved.
That's true. I've always felt like I was a little out of place in a lot of the discussions, even with just the community, in terms of like going easy on people, because I feel like I maybe am less willing to go hard on people. But now that I think about it, Electro being there actually is a pretty decent indicator of how I would expect to handle admin duties and privileges if that was my responsibility, of just like kind of, yeah, I don't know, like you put it perfectly, of like not like, yeah, extending mercy and not necessarily being so I don't know if aggressive
Strict.
is the right word, but
Strict is the word.
strict, yeah, or strict, yes.
Yeah.
That's
I'm definitely
good.
not.
That's good.
I'm not one of the heavy-handed ones either. Usually, if I see something, I will DM them first and be like, "Hey, cut it out." And
Yeah.
but then if I see it again,
Yeah.
I don't ever say anything. I just cut it off.
Yeah.
It's like I gave
I've
you-
got like
Time.
I've got like you get one pass with a soft hand, and then like the dad energy has to come out,
Absolutely.
and then
Yeah.
like that's where it ends.
Yeah, for me, it's dad energy from the start. You came in here, you signed that contract by your presence being here, right? Like, there's a reason have you agree to code of conduct before you can get green, right?
Word.
So you break that rule, and depending on if it's like a marginal thing, like for example, a lot of the NSFW stuff, like somebody might post something that's like kind of on the line, so we'll be kind of soft checking, like, hey, don't do that, right? Second time around, no mercy, get out, right? But if it's depending on the topic, right? Most of the time, I tend to err on the side of, the rules, so do I. Say goodbye.
No,
But
absolutely.
true.
No.
All right. I guess we should go ahead and transition to
My name on the server.
the final talking point. We've been at this for quite a while actually, but this has been fun. So
No, it's just
So shy.
group of friends getting together to just talk.
so
My voice is dying.
This would go
TDT.
back quicker if I didn't like you as much.
yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
All right, so TDT's blown up recently from the Fight Forever project. Wanted to hear you guys' thoughts on how that's been for us here in the community.
Start with sprinkles.
Yeah, well, go ahead. Sprinkles.
Okay,
You're on the hot mic.
Sprinkle. What do I think about it? I feel like it is such a fun thing because I've been enjoying it a lot. I get to meet so many new people and just see how they like to play, and I feel like it brings the community together, and it just gives people a different thing to do because Destiny's on a little low side right now, and it really sparks more interest in the game. And not using the top 20 weapons
Yeah, top 20
is
kinetic.
and you see so many cool loadouts that people use, and it's just better than dying 24/7 to the same old, and it just makes people more interested, and I've really enjoyed it, and it brought a lot of cool people out.
No, absolutely. I'll agree. I guess I'll go ahead and hop in now instead of going last like I've been going. So, yeah, I've been hopping in lobbies. It's been fun setting up the Fight Forever on my end, putting out the metas, doing the challenges. I think what it did is pretty much how the video that Introducer described it. It shows something that Destiny lacks that they really should do, and it's the more customization of the PvP space for private matches. Because being able, just saying, hey, don't use these overly oppressive builds, and the game just immediately got 10 times better.
It's amazing how close the games have been too. Most of the matches are either unbalanced, we made a mistake on putting too many killers, but I've had way more tight matches in Fight Forever lobbies than I have in Control.
For sure, and even for weapons that are sunset, when you take the meta out of it, I've seen people using weapons that I haven't seen since before Beyond Light even came out. Even in some of the private matches that we do now, it's people are using Duty Bound, and I saw a bunch of Blast Furnace, the actual all the weapons from the forges and all that. Stellar Q.
Is that Bob?
Go ahead, Bob.
I just said I busted out my Skyburners. Used to be my number one pick in year one.
Yes, a lot of Skyburners, especially from Crit Magnet.
I
a
need
lot
to
of
interview
sweet
him.
businesses.
Shit. Sweet business is so good. I'm gonna make a video on it.
But yeah, I mean,
Okay.
You mean another one?
Another one. It needs to be. The people need to know. Okay, go ahead.
for now, it's doing good. I know we plan on briefly vaulting it when Witch Queen comes out, just to see.
Just pausing it. Yeah.
Because people are gonna be, playing actual Crucible, trying to go get all their max levels in survival and just learning all the new.
Well, we're
weapons
just
and stuff,
transferring power to the people, and it's now going to be Feet Forever.
Yeah, it's not going to be run from us until.
Yeah,
until
I
we
decreed
bring
it.
back.
I decreed it so the other day.
I don't wish
You
this
say
people would
feet with a T or feed with
Yeah.
a D?
Yes,
Feet.
it
with
is
the
Feet Forever.
Feet. Okay. Note to
Like,
self.
Okay.
I made an official post in Gen Chat and
That you
tagged
did.
everyone.
Interesting.
I'm gonna have to deal with that. Everything you do, I have to deal with. Catch the fallout of all of that.
But yeah, definitely
Yep.
met some interesting people with interesting builds. It's been fun. What about you, Funky?
Mhm.
I think it was honestly just kind of like a perfect storm. The channel had some super steady growth over the past couple of months, and the community as a whole, I don't know, it's talking about Crucible to people on the internet is like bringing up politics at a family table kind of thing.
Yeah.
You're gonna get one
Word.
person who completely agrees with you, one person who like is willing to end their friendship with you right then and there, and then
Yeah.
like one person who's just gonna drink and cry in the corner.
There was a
And-
conversation like that earlier today in general over bow hand cannon swapping, and some
Right.
the guy was just
Like, it's-
dying on
it's
that hill.
that-
I hate it. I hate it.
It's
I hate
that
it.
charged. Right, like it's that charged because like people have such an emotional connection to the game. Cause like it's one of those things like Destiny is the only game of its kind, and it's gonna get you, or you're gonna play for a couple of days or weeks and then just like put it down like every other game. It's one or the other. It's very rare to see somebody like just kind of casually come in and do all the weekly stuff, but not like just fucking sink into it.
Yeah.
And I think like the service we provided with Fight Forever was we took the focus away from winning matches to having fun.
Hey, see, nailed it right on the head.
And
Yes,
that has been the biggest thing, and the thing that I've been preaching and talking to people the entire time this stuff has been going on. Because I've been mostly doing like backline, like event organizing and like talking to people about stuff is like at the end of the day, the number one thing for Fight Forever is to have fun. It's like the only rule that we've put in place is literally just to put in place so you get to be more creative and have more fun doing so. And like, somebody's going to complain that like, oh, well, they were just using, they were using hand cannon shotgun, but like number 11 and number 13 on the list. And it's like, so what? Are they having fun? Yes. Awesome. Good. Are you having fun? No. Awesome. Let's go start another lobby. And then like, you can like, do stuff you need to like have fun. Like that is the number one thing. And I think that's why we had such a big influx, is that like I don't know of any other like content creator or community out there specifically for Destiny that is doing something for the sake of having fun, which is why you play video games in the first place.
Absolutely.
It's like it doesn't matter if you spend 8 hours a day on Destiny, or if you get like 2 hours a week. You load in. You want to have fun, and that's what we're doing.
Actually, I play Destiny because I was told if I get 4,000 elo in control, I'd get a girlfriend.
How's that working out for you?
I'm at 3,200.
Holy
I
crap.
don't think.
You're running out of time there, Bob.
I don't think that's how that works.
Just shh, Sprinkles. Just let him believe. Let him believe.
Okay. Okay.
I'm sorry. What?
Monkey could not have said it better. He nailed it all the way. He aced that. It feels like I wrote that script for him, and I took like a week out to make sure I got that script perfect. He nailed it. I could not have said it better myself, and this
is what I do.
think that's part of the reason why.
That's why his
TDT
name's red. Oh,
True. Part of the reason, seriously, part of the reason why TDT has grown so much is that we above, I think, I'm not willing to put this out there. I know it's going to catch some fire, but this isn't going to be the public. But we above all of the other content creators put the focus first into having fun, right? Like that is the goal of TDT. Is of course like everybody. No, that's not. Again, I'm not saying that other content creators aren't trying to get you to have fun, but like the point specifically is have fun, right? The point of the
Have
video
fun
game,
in the game.
yeah, the point of the video game is to have fun. Let's show you some stuff so that you can have fun in the game better. Because being competitive in the game and having fun in the game don't necessarily go hand in hand. They can, but you might not know how to do it legitimately, right?
Yep.
And I think on the other extreme of things, in the Fallout had a really good video, and Cool Guy, then Fallout. On the really extreme of things, you get the toxic players who have sucked all of the fun out of it. right? And that's really what it is at the end of the day. It's like all of the fun has been sucked out of it for the other player, right? And they're actively trying to destroy other people's fun to get something out of it for themselves. You know what I mean?
call those people oxygen pirates.
Basically, right?
Absolutely. I ran into that the other day with when I was doing the training with Shep. We went and did elimination, and there was just a warlock running around, Ice Luna, shotgun, every kill he got, teabagging. It's just like, why do you have to do that?
Just trying to really let you know that he's the best at the video game, right?
Exactly.
Like, and again, there's nothing wrong with being good at the game. There's nothing wrong with enjoying being good at the game. The problem comes when your personality and your identity becomes so intertwined with your performance in the game that you feel personally attacked when you start to lose. Because that's kind of what it comes down to, right? Because I think a lot of people put so much time and energy in this and they want to feel like that's been validated. And when you strip that from them, right, they're faced with, well, what am I here for, right? And I think a lot of the times players, of that mindset don't come to the conclusion that they're there to enjoy the game. They're there to be the best, right? Which is so dangerous. That's such a dangerous mindset, everybody at home. Do not have that mindset. Like, you can be the best, but it's a game at the end of the day. You aren't going to be curing cancer. It's great to be good at the game. There's nothing wrong with that. But don't put that above actually enjoying the game. If you are playing the game and you're good and you aren't having fun, you need to play a different game, my friend.
Word.
Yep.
No reason to be talking.
It's like just
about
ask them. If you ever get one of those messages, just ask them. It's like, how much did you get paid for winning that match?
it. Are you okay?
No, that's
Do you
what
need a hug?
that's what happened to one of my.
You didn't get paid? Why do you care so much?
Yeah, man, we're all here to have fun. Just chill.
That's what happened to one of my friends recently, where he got to the point where he was like so frustrated at the fact that the game wasn't fun for him anymore, that he was like, basically, I'm not playing anymore. And every once in a while he comes by and he asks me like, why are you still playing this game? Like, it's so infuriating, it's so frustrating. And I'm like, because it's my favorite game. I love playing this game. I know Control sucks right now. I know Quick Play is horrible right now, but it doesn't matter because I'm still having way more fun doing this than I would be doing almost anything else right now, because I love this game so much. I love the gameplay and I love playing it, That's why I'm still here. That's why you're not. And that's how it should be,
Yep. Like I said, and I can't believe this. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Sprinkles.
Like, I have definitely learned the mindset of let it go. If you lose and you're upset, there's no point screaming about it. There's no point getting angry at other people because they're better than you, or they're not. You just go and play, and if the match was bad, so what? The next one might be better. There's no point in bagging people and getting angry and shooting their ghosts because they killed you. I don't understand why people do it. You can just sit there, play with friends, have a good laugh, like, oh, he killed me. Hoorah, whatever, and then go on.
It's just the way people are sometimes.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with being passionate about it, right? It's when that passion gets directed at a person, right? That's when it becomes an issue.
I'll never respect someone who puts time and effort into making someone else's experience or life or anything worse. If you put effort into making someone else not feel good, then you're kind of a loser. Yeah,
you and I
literally do something better with your life.
Agreed.
Really is what it comes down to. Yeah, and it is so prevalent in not just the game, right? It extends outward, because I think that it nestles something. It nestles something in your soul, right? Like that feeling, right? Nestles something in your soul, right? So anyway, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. But anyway, don't be excellent to one another, as I think a cool guy's motto is. Be excellent to one another.
No,
Love
absolutely.
dining, what I would say.
Word up.
It's like we're all here for a reason. It should be to have fun and have fun together.
Anyway,
With
any
that-
other talking points? Anything else we want to go over? I think my voice is about to tap out.
No,
Yeah, I was hearing it.
We
It was sputtering.
We hit all what we came to talk to. Unless anybody has anything else they want to bring up before we close it out.
Beans.
Always brings up beans. I'll bring up the fact that you all are incredible. All of you that are watching this right now, if you've made it this far, your support is just absolutely shocking. The level of support that TDT receives from you guys is just the most humbling thing. Like geez, like it is a different level of support. So I'm very humble and very grateful for all of the support you guys gave, because literally I remember before the Rona hit everybody and everybody's lives changed, I was saying I want to be able to make TDT a job, like a legitimate source of revenue, right? And I'm gonna need some people to like really love our stuff to do it, and we are there. Like we've arrived. We're gonna keep pushing. We're gonna keep growing. We're gonna try to keep getting better. But the support that has been given from you guys is it is unbelievable. It is unbelievable. I will encourage you to go do your own research just so you can see how much of a just an unimaginable amount of love that you guys give us. But yeah, it is incredible. So thank you everybody who got the opportunity to watch this and enjoyed it, hopefully. I won't steal the outro from anybody, but yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
Definitely been a journey.
No, I mean, community's the entire reason, like, we're doing stuff like this, and we want to do stuff like this. So, if it wasn't for that kind of support and appreciation, it's like, things like this wouldn't happen.
Yep.
No, absolutely. That's why I wanted to bring this back, because it's kind of a chance for us to, just kind of be personable, talk to the community, let them know what we're thinking.
It's a good idea.
Yeah. Plus, this way, like, people can feel like they get to know me without me actually having to talk to them. So that way, I don't run the risk of, like, needing to take a nap or, like, drink after I talk to them.
Oh boy.
Like I do with some people.
All right. Well, with that being said, we'll go ahead and close it out here. Thank you, everybody, for tuning into the yeetcast revival.
Bless.
Your
Faces.
And
Deuces. Thank you very much, everybody.
We got it.